Hi Aries, welcome to your reading for now. I've typically done monthly readings for the zodiac signs, but I'm feeling inspired to just do some general energy readings, some soulful readings. My name's Wendy, by the way. Hello, thank you everyone for your comments and for booking readings with me. If you would like a personal reading, I'll leave that in the description box. Aries, any messages for Aries? Ooh, the lotus flower representing unfoldment. Now, Pisces just had a significant lotus imagery in their reading as well. I'm not sure if you have Pisces placements, if you're dealing with a Pisces, but either way, there could be a connection. Maybe it's just whatever. The message is there's something that is like you're showing yourself. You're coming up to the surface and unfolding. The path unfolds before you. The story becomes known. It feels like you're learning more. Pieces are starting to come together. Things are making sense. The lotus flower symbolizes rebirth and resurrection because it goes underwater and it kind of lives in that murky, muddy place. And then in the daytime, it rises to the surface and unfolds to reach the sun. So it's like you're stretching out in a lot of ways and fully being seen, being known. You're able to stretch out. It feels like freedom. It feels like really nice self-expression. And you can, the sun can reach all parts of you. So things are growing, I'm going to say equally as well. In your life, you may have felt that like there was a focus on one area. You may have felt quite fragmented, and that these different petals of life, each one was getting a focus, each one was growing faster than the next, and you may have felt fragmented or discombobulated, as they say, and it feels like you're experiencing greater unity within self, which is so profound. Like the mind, the body, the soul, all working together. Everything's on the same page. As I sat down to do your reading, there was this energy, this message. I always try to tap into the signs before I start recording, just to get a feel of like what's going on. And what I was feeling was definitely some fragmentation, where it was very much like a mind spirit kind of division, or where it's like, if I'm a spiritual person, do I have the right to be angry at something? Because we talk about the art of detachment and observing and being aware of things. But when there is, injustice or something that really bothers you, it's like, it was almost like you were speaking out against injustice. I was seeing you speaking out against injustice for maybe something that had happened to you or a family member. It doesn't matter, it's different for everyone, but that theme, you're speaking out against injustice. And then there was kind of this question of like, oh, but Aries, you're a spiritual like someone's kind of throwing it in your face, or like trying to discredit you because you also have a fighting spirit, like you have courage, which means of the heart, right? The have heart. So you have heart, you've got fire, but it's very possible to be a spiritual person, but to also feel those human emotions and have those human reactions. So again, there may have been, I don't know if someone is challenging you with that, or if you've just felt like the parts of you are kind of separated, and it feels like, again, all the parts of you are unfolding together now and being illuminated, being illuminated, receiving the warmth and the light, and able to grow at the same time. So there's greater inner unity, for inner and outer unity for you, Aries. Feels like things just are more manageable as well. Oh, and fulfillment. Wow. So the full moon, we can't ignore that full moon image. It feels like the full moon in Pisces will be profound for you. And we did talk about how that's symbolized. Maybe the Pisces is kind of that collective energy that you're feeling. That full moon in September is really bringing some kind of fulfillment. So what does fulfillment mean to you, and how do you fulfill those different aspects of self? Has it been frustrating in the past? Because again, with all those pieces working together now in unity, you're feeling wholly fulfilled. So I heard the deed is done. Something is done. A promise is fulfilled. If you've been waiting for someone to follow through on a promise, that's done. Fulfillment. It just feels like your heart's full, your stomach's full, and you feel really good. Like the emotions are you're in a good place, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Piece by piece, you're realizing it's all come together. So yeah, I heard the deed is done. So by that full moon in September, it brings closure, it brings great illumination, it brings a completion point for a lot of you. I heard I've done my part. Someone could be passing something on to you, a new responsibility. They're trusting you with a little bit more. I feel like you're growing in a lot of ways in career as well. A bunch of cards tumbled over. They're all face down. The only one face up is the Emperor. All right, you've got the Emperor. The fulfillment occurs because you have followed a plan. You're following a plan. You've got a budget in place, a routine in place, your meal plan, whatever your project or your end goal is, it requires a strict, predictable routine. And the reason is this routine and this structure provides discipline, and it ensures that you're checking in regularly. So I see accountability with this too. Yourself, other people, there's accountability. And the reason we need this structure is so that we have a goal and the plan to get there, we see every step of the way. So it's foolproof. The Emperor tells me you're creating a foolproof plan to reach that goal, to reach that fulfillment. So we've got to be disciplined, we've got to be structured, and the Emperor is quite result-oriented as well, that divine masculine. And it's, looking for the next thing, looking for kind of that like innate sort of hunter of the divine masculine, whereas divine feminine is more of a receiving, puttering type of energy. This is the path, this is how to do it, this is how we get there. Significant male energy as well. A lot of you could be parents. You might be watching somebody. Maybe there's pregnancy, the unfoldment, like watching something grow, someone grow. Aries. Justice. Thy deed will be done. What is that from? Justice. So government seems to be part of this, like rules, regulations. I don't know if some of you are really dealing with rules and regulations right now. There maybe is like an imposition of rules or structure, and it's like the stamp. I see justice as the final stamp of approval on something, or the signature that makes this go through. Something gets approved. It's really important right now to, with justice, we are accessing truth. And truth is always present. Truth is always with us. Some of you may struggle to figure out this plan to fulfillment, and it may take a lot of research or a lot of input from other people, because with justice, we have two sides giving their interpretation, and then we sort of have this judge who looks at all of the evidence and everything presented, you know, you're looking at all of the options, you're asking other people how they did it or whatever. Justice means that it takes a while to reach a decision because you have to look at all of the information available. But I really think that divine masculine energies coming back into balance. And I think this is for the greater collective, it's quite empowering because we need more of that balance. We can't just be in one or the other all the time. So I see policy, I see stamp of approval, I see something being approved, moving on to the next level. I think you might get, a lot of you, if you're looking for paperwork or visas, that's being approved, you're ready to go. There's definitely government involvement here, or like some kind of legislative body. It's discipline as well. You know, a lot of you could be parents and you're navigating how to discipline your children and like looking at how other parents do it, and maybe you're experiencing some frustration with that because you don't want to give your kid a cell phone, everyone else has one, so now your child feels like an outcast. And there's a lot of like consideration of how society, like the greater collective, does things. You definitely have the deciding factor though. You have the world in your hands with that emperor. He's holding the gold scepter and the orb in his hand, which is a great sign of royalty, which shows that he holds the world in his hand. It symbolizes the world. The thing with the emperor is he's hard to reach because he's so at the top, dealing with the middlemen basically, that he could be difficult to reach. Some of you may have a hard time reaching the boss or the one in charge because there's so many like steps to go through to get there. But I feel like you could have legal help. Help is available. I feel like there is something socially supported there. But yeah, that emperor too, if a lot of you are like running a business, starting a business, you've got other stuff to deal with. You know, your position is running the business. It's not managing the people. It's more like doing the business deals and spreading, you know, knowing your territory and spreading out and marking your territory, putting your stamp on things, marking your territory. I'm going to try to take some notes so I can remember. And so the emperor unfolds his plan step by step. And it ensures, you know, every step of the way that all the details are covered. We're within budget, everything's kind of predictable. It helps us stay on track. Nine of Pentacles. Some of you are starting your own businesses or you're finally being incorporated, so congratulations. I see a lot of energy around the home as well. A nice garden, a nice place with a view, feeling comfortable. You've got a sanctuary. Okay, you've got the Seven of Swords, so there could be a thief in your midst. Maybe this is why justice is coming out in the Emperor. There's some discipline there. There's somebody that's trying to get away with something. We see this guy who's trying to go into the... Be mindful of people that just are trying to get information out of you. It doesn't mean that they're like a thief in the night and it's this boogeyman figure. It could just be someone who like... a loose acquaintance keeps contacting you for free information or like advice on how to do it, right? They want to know how you did it so they can kind of copy something like that. So I feel like you need to get patented. You need to like kind of protect your method, let's say. So yeah, someone may want your information because in this card we see this enemy. He's gone into this camp, and it's interesting because it's like you look at this card, who are you siding with? Are you siding with this guy? Because he's in the foreground, or do you side with like these people in the back? You see them all back here meeting, discussing, but he's gone into the camp, snuck in and taken their weapons. So while they're busy discussing their plan, he actually went in and took their weapons. So you might be dealing with something like that. So it's almost like don't be too loose or assume that like once this fulfillment happens that it's all done. You still have to be vigilant. Because I feel like this Nine of Pentacles might be like enjoying the good life a little too much and might kind of, I don't know, do you need another set of eyes or something, right? We're going to keep pulling because sometimes the Seven of Swords is necessary in life. Sometimes we have to be the Seven of Swords. Like, we see the world, and instead of taking the road like a car on the street, you maybe take the bike path. And so you take a little bit of a different path, and you see the city from different angles, and you see things from a different point of view that not everyone really experiences, right? You seem to be, some of you are in the majority and you're trying to maintain discipline and balance, because with justice, I just feel like there's a lot of people that need to be on the same page. And so these rules help everyone adhere to that so that the end result is predictable. Again, you've got goals, and that's how you do it. And others of you are just like, I want to subvert the Emperor. The Emperor represents an enemy of mine. Even though it's the Aries card, and you've got Justice there as a Libra card, there's a message about opposites there. There's a message about complementary, but also opposite. This might turn out to be the best business partner. You know, some of you may be very opposite to a business partner who they're the passion, you're the money, right? Like there's different ways to reach the goal, and each party is represented. Some of you are having issues with parental, like, payment, like child support payments and family law concerns. And so what I see there is that this person who has been escaping their obligations, they're going to be more accountable to you now, because there is law in place. There's been an endorsement or an order given by a judge who will make sure that this person is following adhering to their obligations. So those of you with children, or who've been waiting for something to pass and be finalized, feels like it's finally being finalized. Does he bring the information to the Nine of Pentacles? And that's why she's profiting, because she's got somebody doing the dirty work for her. So it's like they send someone who you wouldn't recognize, but you don't know who they're working for. I feel like you need to keep your secrets close this month, Aries, right now, always, because you never know who somebody's working for. You don't know where their interests lie. So I don't know. I feel like you need to be kind of tight-lipped right now. Like, you got to keep those battle plans a secret, let's say. It's like you've been very public and you kind of just want to live. You want to just go home and kind of hide from people. You might disguise yourself when you go out. I know that sounds extreme, but some of us do that. Like, some of us disguise ourselves just to go grocery shopping because you may be a public figure. King of Cups, okay. I'm going to keep pulling cards and then see. Nine of Cups. Healing from old ways. Releasing a lot, releasing weight. Some of you losing weight. If that's been a goal of yours, I see you achieving something. As you know, as we talk about fulfillment and wish fulfillment, what does that look like? Have you been following a path that was laid out for you by somebody else, by your dad, by a grandfather, someone who maybe like started a business and you were like, I know this is what I should do, but I really want to go my own way. What does it mean to be fulfilled? Is it honoring your family's legacy, your name, where you came from, what's been laid out for you? Or is it more fulfilling to be an individual and individuate and, you know, go a different way? A lot of you have the power to manifest what you desire. And the reason you have the power to manifest this is because I think a lot of you have been working toward this for a long time. You've done the work. You have healed yourself. You're like, I no longer want to follow the dishonest path. I want to live honestly. I want to Like in dating, I don't want to just be attracted to people who are unavailable. I want to find someone who is available and ready to receive me so that I can receive them and, receive and give. And there's this constant flow instead of it being more one-sided. For those of you who are healing, there's like leaving indulgence in the past, saying goodbye to something. You feel with Justice and the King of Cups, you can trust that you've made a good decision. And the reason, the way you can recognize this is by how it feels inside. Does it feel peaceful when you consider this option? Or do you consider another option? How does it feel? It should feel peaceful. That's truth. Truth feels peaceful. And so there's this effort to heal from the past. What used to get the better of you no longer does. Maybe there has been an injustice. The Seven of Swords could represent injustice. Someone went behind someone's back and tried to do something behind their back, and the King of Cups is like, I'm compassionate, I understand why you did this, but I also can no longer work with you. Like, you've lost something valuable here because of your actions. So trust the way that you feel, because the King of Cups feels quite peaceful and solid with his decisions. He also represents that healing point where you're starting to do things differently. So it's like, whatever your goal is, if it's to stop drinking, if it's to stop spending money, if it's whatever it is, do things differently. King of Cups marks that turning point, and that is what yields the fulfillment of the Nine of Cups. Because you're connected to your soul, you're connected to your heart. Remember, we talked about the unity of all parts of you, and that is why the magic happens. So you have manifestation power right now, Aries. It's strong. It is strong. And again, a lot of you, it's like, finally. Like my little boy, I'm hearing like my little boy, like his father is just, he won't pay support and he's hard to find. It's like, they're going to find him. He's going to pay. So I feel like things are being resolved for you, Aries. They're being resolved. Nine of Cups. It's so fulfilling inside. Some of you may be considering moving your services to either like on the road delivery services or working from home, because you may find that you're working with clients who experience shame or anxiety and they don't want to leave their house. They don't want to be seen going into the clinic. So you offer this mobile service where you go to them, and like that invisibility aspect of the Seven of Swords, you take it to the road and you offer things that are disguised. You offer a service, but it's in disguise so that your clients have some dignity. I feel it's important to maintain dignity and just be very upright. All these cards are dignified and upright. The only one who's not really facing us is the Seven of Swords. I just feel like you may be frustrated too, because some of you live like very humble lives. You don't seek fame, you don't seek fortune. You just have this natural teaching ability or this like spiritual guidance, but maybe you find that people are stealing your messages, or more popular companies or brands or something like that. So I feel like there's something to be reconciled there. But what I really feel strongly the most is release. Release. Queen of Swords says goodbye. I'm letting it go. I'm creating space. There's lots of breathing room. Goodbye. I release you. I accept that I could not crush you like this. You're on your way. So it's done once and for all. And We talked about goals, losing weight. Some of you, it's amazing what you let yourself release once you are unified within self and you experience that profound fulfillment. It's amazing what you'll be okay with letting go of when you have that unity of self. So Aries, I hope this has been helpful. If you want a personal reading, I will leave my email address in the description box. So if you want an email, just shoot me, or if you want a personal reading, just shoot me an email and I will read your cards. I would love to do that. And until next time, I wish you the very best.